Hello, everybody. It's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. So glad you guys could join me for a new Tuesday tip video. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about creating great cards with torn paper. So today we've got a really kind of fun rolling window card. This is going to be a great one to send to family and friends. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's unique and it's different, and that's what we love. But most of all, it's easy. So let's get started.
So this is what I meant by a kind of a rolled window card. Can you see? We've just kind of torn our designer series paper, and it's like it's just peeling away a fun little window. So we're going to create this fun card today. I thought it was just adorable. It reminded me of my dog Tugger. So let me show you how to create the torn window. It's very simple. And you don't need a lot of supplies. I'm going to be using a real red card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. So that's going to fit into an A2 size envelope. I've got some designer series paper here. This one is the Happy Forest Friends. So even though this side is adorable, I thought this one just looked really cute with my little corgi. I've got a piece, oh, did I mention that is the 4 by 5.25? I've got another 4 by 5.25 of basic white. Actually, you're going to need 2 of these if you're wanting to add something to the inside. The last thing I'm going to do, just to kind of dress it up, I've got a little piece of Sahara Sand 2 by 4. Guys, here we go. This is really a fun card. So, because my card is going to be tearing this way, and I'm going to want my image right here, so for this card, I'm going to use the Glad We're Friends stamp set. I just thought this corgi being blown away was perfect with that rolled designer series paper. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take my image and I'm going to stamp it here on my designer series paper, but I don't want it to be really dark. I just want it to be kind of faint. Now I'm going to be stamping this in Memento Black. And so I'm going to ink this up. In fact, it doesn't even have to be good. All right. I'm going to stamp it off twice to get a lot of that ink off. In fact, I might even do it a third time. Now let me bring in my cardstock and my designer series paper. What you want to do is kind of decide about where that's going to go on your designer series paper, and you're going to stamp it. See how light it is? Don't worry about it. It's not going to show, but that's going to at least give me a visual of where I'm going to tear. Yep, this is all going to be rolled up inside. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start my tear here just a little bit, and here. I'm kind of watching to make sure I'm going to get everything. Now, you can come along and just start to tear this, okay? Just like anything else. You're just going to tear nice and slow, but I got a trick that I picked up. You can use a bamboo skewer. This is one of those orange sticks that, we sometimes use on our nails, whatever you have. But I found it to be kind of nice to be able to take that stick, and can you see I'm just rolling my designer series paper around it. I'm going to hold on to this and watch. I instantly tear. Now, it's not getting everything right there. Not a problem. Just kind of guide it back, As I said, let me show you without that. You can leave that off and then you can just tear manually. You're welcome to do that too. But if your designer series paper is starting to not tear where you want it, just stop and just guide it along. So I can see how far I need to go out for my image. I'm going to bring my stick back in because I really did like using the stick. It just really made it easier. Because see how nice and tight I can just roll that up, and now I'll just keep rolling. And by the way, if you notice when I missed a little edge and had to catch it, it's all going to be rolled up inside, so you're not going to see it. But what I loved about this card is it's such a different look. It's like something we've never done before. We've never sent before. All right, I'm going to keep rolling this until I get to the end of my stamped image. And you know what? If you're not sure, look what I can do. I can line that up right there and kind of have a nice visual. I think I'll tear just a little bit more. Once we have it all rolled up, you can remove your stick or just stop rolling. Remember, we're going to work with it more later. And then any of these pieces that may be just, a little bit too white, you can just kind of continue with that torn edge and just kind of lift it. That's going to give it a great look. Now,
Don't forget to head over to simplysimplestamping.com, or you can just look down in the YouTube description. I've got a direct link to my post for today. And guess what? I've got a free download for you that goes along with today's card. So you can grab that. You'll have the measurements, you'll have photos, you'll have a supply list, everything that you need. And if you need to order any of the supplies that I used, it's easy. You can just click right there and you can go to my online store. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. All right, now let me show you how we're going to take that fun rolled designer series paper and add it to our card.
Now we're going to take our basic white and let's go ahead and adhere our window to that. Now, if your white's a little bit big, you can trim off just a little bit to kind of help it sit nicely in there. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as is. But obviously, this is the only place we want adhesive. All right, we've got that adhered down. Now, I told you we were going to work with this later. I'm actually going to roll it all the way across. In my situation, it actually just kind of clipped right there on the back, which is great. If yours doesn't, you can just use a couple clear blocks to kind of hold it and make sure we get that out of our way, because we are ready to stamp our sweet little corgi. So I'm going to ink that up one more time. Remember, we had stamped off several times and we want this to be nice and dark. I'm going to put that back here in my window and stamp. And while I've got that ink out, I'm also going to stamp "I'm blown away by you." So cute, right? We'll stamp that. This sentiment, by the way, is already kind of going at an angle, which works so well with our cardstock or designer series paper that looks like it's kind of blowing away, right? We're just going to stamp that right there on the Sahara sand. All right, let's do some coloring here on our image. And we're going to be using Stampin' Blends for this. So I'm going to need that grid paper back underneath me. I'm going to use the cherry, I'm sorry, forgive me, that is the Real Red Stampin' Blends. And then these are from the Neutrals collection. And I have the number 800 and 600. And guys, this is from the Natural Tones Medium and the Natural Tones Light. I just thought it worked really well with my corgi. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the dark, all right? And I'm going to use the fine tip, and I'm going to color in the inside part of my sweet little puppy. Then I'm going to get the inside of his ears. And like I said, that was with the 600. Now with the 800, we're going to go ahead and color everything else. Avoid that tongue. We're going to color that here in a minute. Now, my corgi is a terrier corgi mix, and he's black and brown. But you know what? That was not going to work with this image, or else there wouldn't be a whole lot of this little pup to see. This is what my little boy looks like. He's adorable. He is 10 months old now. All right, we've got that colored in. Now I'm going to take my Real Red Dark. Let's get that tongue. By the way, my dog's tongue is always like hanging out half out of his mouth. He's one of those weird ones that loves to have the tongue hanging half out. On the fan, what I'm going to do with my dark is I'm just going to trace the fan in the dark. I'm not going to do anything here to the fan itself. And then let's go ahead and get these little streamers. They're so cute. We'll get those in the dark as well. Now, with our light red, we can come in and we're going to blend these two colors together. When the alcohol from the light hits the alcohol from the dark, that's what gives all this great shading. We still have not unrolled this. We're going to adhere it to the front of our card. In fact, can I tell you, it might just be easier for you to add adhesive to the card base and then add your focal image here, because you're going to be fighting with this rolled paper. All right, we have that done. Now, we're going to go ahead and roll this paper back up, and I'm just going to come in again with that stick, or like I said, you can just roll it. Once you have it set where you want it, we're going to secure it down with some mini glue dots. Roll it up, bring it back just a little, and let's add some mini glue dots here. I'm using my take your pick tool, but you can use anything. I think I'm going to use 3 to secure this. And oh, by the way, you could also use your multi-purpose glue. That would work too. Just remember, you're going to want to hold that while it dries. But the reason I pulled it back a little bit was so I could add, well, come on, mini glue dot. There you go. Now I can take that and give it one more roll Give it a good press. Remove my stick. There, I don't have to worry about that unrolling. And remember that image that's stamped underneath? Guess what? No one's going to see that. Now we're going to adhere our I'm blown away by you. And it's going to leave me a little border right there. That just kind of dressed up the card a little bit. Let me go ahead and bring in my original. You can see I also added a little bit of ribbon. I wanted to kind of give it just a little bit more there, just a simple ribbon knot, and I added that with a mini glue dot. But I wanted to show you the inside. I took that other remaining piece of the basic white, and I used my Stamparatus to only ink up the dog and said, so glad we're friends. So a super fun card. Let me show you this other one because it is so cute. This is with the party puffins, these adorable puffins. They are so much fun. But what I liked about this, I was trying to think of things that what would work with this kind of rolling window. And I noticed this puffin was looking down, and I thought, well, he's looking down at that sweet little yummy fish right there for a birthday card, a great birthday card. By the way, you can mail these because even if this gets a little squished, it's fine. It's going to mail just fine. You may want to even put like a little thin piece of bubble wrap over this when you mail it, but really these are also great to just give. Again, it's got such a unique look to it.
Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like the video, I would love a thumbs up on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. And if you haven't subscribed, why not click the red subscribe button? There's a bell right next to it. When you do, YouTube will let you know whenever I'm back with a new video, and I'd love to have you join. All right, my friends, that's it for me. Make it a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.